Hey, what is up you guys, it's Techrodd with a new After Effects tutorial, and this tutorial is a new start of season 2, meaning that we're going to do intermediate tutorials. We're going to do something more advanced than the basics. We've seen all the basics, we've done all that, and in these tutorials I'm going to show something more advanced at an intermediate level. So it's going to be very interesting. The concept of this season is about you request tutorials and I make them. I know some of you guys like the way I explain things and how easy it is to understand the way you use After Effects, which is the purpose why I do these tutorials, of course. Now, today we're going to do something I chose to start with. We're going to do advanced lightning effects. This is a built-in plugin, built-in effect actually, in After Effects itself, and we're going to use that effect to make something amazing. Some of you have probably seen that video. If you haven't, click the annotation on the screen right now. If it isn't there, just click the link in the description. It will be there as soon as I upload this one. And okay, so Alright, so what we're going to make today is something I posted some while ago on YouTube and called Lightning Hands Effects. And this is the video. Yeah, as I said before, you can make your own requests just by going to the site link in the description. Anyhow, so we're going to start with the tutorial. First off, we're going to do something different than main thing. We're going to open up our browser and we're going to download a After Effects script. If you don't know what it is, I'll explain it to you. After Effects scripts are something like templates. Kind of templates actually. They how do you explain it? They give you the opportunity to make editing more easier to yourself. And scripts, let me just show how they make scripts. This is a script editor built in After Effects CS6, and people in there make scripts. We're not going to do that, don't worry about it. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep it at After Effects itself. But I found something very useful recently, and that's called InstaFilm. So let me just go to a site, creativedojo.net. It's a really great site. It has some really great blogs and also tutorials. But InstaFilm, the script from InstaFilm, is something that allows you to, with one click, have borders. Black borders. I use them a lot. And just with one click you can have those borders right up your screen, and you don't have to create something new or anything like that. It's really simple. So we're going to import that script at first. So let me just go to that site again. So when you're at the site, go a little bit down. You can see here, download now. Just click that. It will download a zip file, I believe. There we go. It's not big, really not big. And just open it up with Windows Explorer or WinRAR, which you prefer most. And in there we can see the copyright license, how to install, and InstaFilm. I'm going to show you how to install this. It's really simple. Just copy the InstaFilm file over here, and we're going to go to our computer, local disk, and after that we're going to go where After Effects is installed. So probably it will be installed in program files with you, Adobe After Effects CS6 or CS5, which you prefer. Go to support files, and after that we go to scripts over here, and in there you paste that file. I already have it, so I'm going to just copy and replace it. And you need administration permission to copy it over here. If you don't have that, just place it in documents, and we're going to show it how to install it really soon. Just close that out as well. Okay, so we're going to create a new new composition over here. This time we're going to use full HD settings because that's better, in my opinion. It is. Oh, wrong settings. It needs to be, let's see, HD TV 180, 29 by 29 frames a second. The one on the bottom, okay? And just press OK, and we got our composition as always. We're going to go to Window, and we're going to choose Instafilm on the bottom over here. Now this is why sometimes when you put it in your documents it will not show up. So if it doesn't show up, I don't know how to fix it, but probably go to File, Scripts, and run script file. I'm not sure if that will work, but you can try if you don't have permission to place it over there. It should be over here at Window, and that will show up in Window in After Effects, and we can see it has some cool things. Like for example, we have letterbox for 180, borders for 180, 720, and 360. Of course, we're going to use 180 because our composition is 180 resolution, 180p resolution. And we also got some tools, some CC and grain. This is probably, I guess, let me just create a new adjustment layer, apply the CC to it. Let's see which effect is. Oh, so we got some magic bullet looks, some curves and levels, and tints already pre-applied, so we don't have to go to effects and apply all the effects manually. And these are actually the effects you're going to use most of the time when you're going to have a CC on your cool animation. So let me just delete it for a second, because it seems it has created a new layer. Anyway, so thank you, Vincent Nigrin. Sorry if I say your name wrong. It's a great script. I'm really guessing people like this one very much. Alright, so we're going to begin with a tutorial now about the advanced lightning effect. So this effect is very cool. We're going to use the following effects: advanced lightning, video copilot, optical flares, was it? Yes. And we're going to use some CC, and I guess that's about it. And of course we're going to use Instafilm script. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So first off, we need an animation of our own. So you're going to act for the camera like some dude from Infamous, for example. And like you do an animation, you have a lightning in your hands. I've done it. You've seen that video. I've done it. You might laugh. It will be weird to see without any effects. So this is me acting like I have some lightning in my hands. It's a kind of weird sight to see, but at the end we're going to make it very cool. So, okay, so now it's playing. You can see, poof, and in this moment I have lightning in my hands, and I'm going to let it grow bigger, and bam, back in my hands. And oh, I forgot one effect we're going to use as well is light rays. So we're going to make, when my hands are closed, we're going to make it like there's some light in my hands, like that. Okay, so before we go any further, you need to be sure you have everything right set up. So you need to be sure you have the effect video copilot optical flares installed, as well as the advanced lightning technique, which you can search over here. It should be installed, I guess. I don't know if it's the same way with CS4, CS5, but you can try. Anyway, so we're going to start editing right now. So we're just going to import our video, and we're going to go and trim the come to work area. Very simple to do, you know how to do it. And let me just increase the size a little bit. There we go. And okay, so also you need to be sure to have a great camera, because you can see the pixels is not nice, and when I move around we can see that there's like a lot of motion blur and whatever it is. That's the kind of thing we need to be sure to take to be sure to have to know what we're doing right here. Anyway, so we're going to make a new adjustment layer, and we're going to apply the advanced lighting technique. It's a generate advanced lighting technique on the top over here, and we can directly see we got some lighting. Very cool. And the dots over here are, this is the origin and this is the direction, so that's why it's called. And we're going to change some settings at first. So we're going to change the lighting type direction to, I guess it was two-way strike I did. Yeah. If that's too laggy, you can, when you're editing, you can let it change to direction, no problem. And later on you can just change it to two-way direction, because it's very laggy when you're going to use it, especially with the effects we're going to use later on. So I'm just going to make it stay a direction. After that, we're going to choose, click on Composite on Origin, and it will show, yeah, the layer in the back. And we can move around again, and we have no black background. Very cool, very cool. We're going to change the colors of this one later on, and the glow effects, etc. At first, we're going to choose a point where we're going to make it visible, where the lighting will start. So it's going to start here. So I have a frame over here. I'm going to press the little star on my numpad, and that will, when you click not on a layer, where you have no layer selected, click on the little star on your numpad, and it will also show up a marker on your on your timeline over here, and you can change some settings to like you can marker, and you can add a comment to it. You can name it starting point, for example. This is something you would use if you have a big project. So when you're navigating through the composition, you have your markers, and you know, this is my starting point. Over here I have it's growing larger, and over here it's ending. You would use it for that. Okay, so it's going to start over here. So what we're going to do now is select our advanced lighting over here, and we're going to place the lighting over here and the other one in the middle. Just imagine there's an orb right here. Just imagine there's an orb. And what we're going to do now is we're going to where is it? Core settings and core opacity, which is at 75. It should be stay at that. But we're going to press page up, the page up key, to go one frame before the other frame. And the page up key is very, very cool to use, especially when you're going frame by frame to editing. That's what I mostly use. If you can see, I'm going frame by frame. I'm not using any arrow keys or something, or any other keys. I'm just going page up and page down. Very useful to use instead of your mouse and navigating or zooming in, whatever. So just page up and page down will do the trick. So what we're going to do now is just press page up, and we're going to change the opacity to 0. So we've keyframed it. Just double clicked it, so if you know why it showed up here, and we can see it disappears. But we also got the glow, so we're going to do the same thing for the glow. We're just going to page down and back to page up and change it to 0. There we go. Now we're going to keyframe to positions, and just press the keyboard over here, and we're going to press U on our keyboard to show up all the keyframes we're using right now. So I'm just page down real quick, and let me just change things to two-way strike, and we can see it's a two-way strike here only. Very cool. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to duplicate this effect, and let me just press Ctrl D to duplicate it. What you can do is as well, you can duplicate the layers, but that won't do any good because it will apply the glow effect to the glow effect from the other advanced technique underneath that layer. So just gotta have to understand it that way, and it's also much easier working with one layer. So let me just duplicate it again by pressing Ctrl D on your keyboard. Okay, so we're going to change the position of this one to over here. Now we can see there's like a cool lightning, and it's not animating as we can see, but it will animate if we move it around. You can see it's like generating more and more lightning as we go further and further away. It's really a pretty cool sight, but not that fancy. We're just going to delete it again, because first off we're going to animate the point in the middle over here. And after that, we're going to duplicate this layer, this effect again. So we have this point animated to, the imaginary orb that we will place in here later on. And the other effect, we're going to keyframe it every time again with this, the duplicated effect, of course. So now I'm just going to speed up, and it's going to be a boring thing, but that's normal when you keyframe frame by frame. So let me just do that really quick. Okay. Okay. Oh, so I've keyframed every frame I could do, and you might have noticed that I sometimes miss some frames in my video itself. So it's a camera with I guess it's 50 to 30 frames per second. I guess it's around in the middle of that, and I sometimes miss some frames and can't fix that. However, I can fix it by using Twixtor, the plugin Twixtor, you might know it, and use that one to add slow motion effects to it, so it has more frames. But this point I won't do it, because as you can see, sometimes I am missing some animation, and even though I'm missing some frames, I still move it around sometimes, because the lightning needs to keep moving around. So you can see it's standing still right here. And yet again, the lightning needs to keep moving. Right now it looks like nothing. It sucks if you see it that way, but now we're going to change the point of the imaginary orb. I'm going to make it look like the orb is just flying in our hand, so we're going to make it shake a bit sometimes, even though I'm missing frames. So this one is much easier than the one, because it doesn't have to be precise, and we can like just move it around a little bit. That was very cool to do. There we go. And this point, I guess over here, I wanted to make it much larger. You can see the expression on my face, and holy shit, there's a big one coming. Blah blah. So I'm just going to add a marker over here, and I'm going to name it Big One. And let me just back to my advanced. So just need to keep moving it around. Doesn't matter where you place it, just place it randomly. It's like an orb. Damn. Like that. And it's gone. Okay. So at this point we can see I just like close it in. A little bit too early, let's see. So let me just copy this one and paste it over here. Okay, that's good. Okay. Anyhow, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to duplicate it. Just press U again to show all the keyframes. We've done some keyframes. This is like nothing. It's not even advanced. Um, so we're going to change some settings. We're going to delete the top frames over here, but just select them, or we can just yeah. I guess that's the fastest way to do it, is by selecting them. Normally, when you press Shift and click further away in Windows, it will select all the things, you know. But in After Effects, it doesn't. Don't click on Control when you click a frame. That will change the perspective, the properties of the frame itself. So don't do that. Okay, so we're going to change the direction of the origin of this one to the other side. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to animate it over here. I'm just going to do it really quick. Let me just speed it up, the process. Okay, so very cool. So remember, you have to just press 0 on your numpad to yeah, replay, to do a RAM preview of the animation you've just done. So pressing O on the 0 on your keyboard will do the trick, instead of clicking this one over here. Okay, so at this point, I have to say something. I'm not doing this precisely. We can see sometimes it's not at the right place on my hands. I'm doing this as fast as I can because I might miss some. It's going to take too long, this tutorial. You can see directly that it's kind of fake. But in your example, you need to be sure you do it frame by frame at the right place. So don't forget to do that one. Okay, it's nice. And by the way, this video over here, this recorded, is rendered in Sony Vegas. The one I made over here was rendered in After Effects with motion blur enabled and use of Twixtor plugin, and that's why this one is much more fluent than this one over here, and this is why also this one is missing frames. Anyhow, we're going to go any further, and at this point we're going to make the opacity and the glow opacity from both advanced lighting effects to 0. Just going to add a keyframe over here, so we're pressing the little square, whatever it is, over here, page down, and making it 0. There we go, and it's gone. As I said, we're going to change the glow settings later on as we get further and further away in the tutorial. So we're now already kind of 50 minutes working on this, and we already got this one over here. It's pretty cool. So now we're going to rename this adjustment layer to lightning. So we know that layer is a lightning. We're going to add a new adjustment layer. We're going to apply the video corporate optical flare effect to it. At first we're going to choose render mode on black to over original. We're just going to place it right over here so we get an idea already. We're going to go to options, and we're going to go to light, and we're going to choose blue spark. Now this is the one I use, and if you downloaded my editing pack, you should have these flares as well. So these are the flares. I added it a little bit, removed some, highlighted some yeah, effects that shouldn't be there. So anyway, the blue spark effect over here at the light pack, we're going to solo the first two glows, so we don't have to just hide every layer else. Just press OK, and there we already have a nice effect. So we got the idea over here. Just I'm going to add another effect to it, as we've seen in the previous videos. Let me just open it up really quick and pause. At this point, we can see there are some cool, some cool lens flares as well. So I'm just going to resize it a little bit, so you kind of get the idea. Place it on the other monitor. Anyhow, so where do we find? Where did I put it again? Forgot. God damn it. No worries, no worries. We'll find it directly. Just give me a second or two. Alright, so after a while I found it eventually. This is a cross color in the Pro Preset map over here, Pro Preset 2 map, and just right click it and choose Add to Current. And that will add the effect to this effect over here. And yeah, I forgot to mention, unsolo it, delete the ones from the previous one, and undo that. So we have our orb with a cool blue and red tint. Very cool. No settings need to be changed. Maybe a little less brightness, I guess. That's just fine. Yeah, so we're going to change the brightness to 75% here. Okay, so first off, we're going to change the center position to over here. So we have like the red tint where we want it, and we're going to change the rotation offset to 74, and we're going to animate this rotation offset as we go further with our keyframes over here. So in the meantime, just rename the layer over here to OF, meaning optical flares, of course, and press U on not yet. Click the keyframes you want to animate first. So we're going to animate the position. This one over here. We're going to not going to animate the center position because it's already at a good place over here. We can animate it, but I'm not going to do it right here. We're going to animate the brightness and the rotation offset, and later on we're going to change some settings over here. So press U on the keyboard to open up all the keyframes we've made, and we're going to choose the page up and page down. Don't forget to use those keys, and we're just going to make the brightness 0 over here and back to 175 to over here, and yeah, I'm going to move it around a little bit. So make sure it stays in the middle. And while we're doing this, don't forget to change some brightness settings, so to increase the brightness and the rotation over here. And we're going to rotate a little bit like this, so kind of get the idea already. So do all these keyframes all at once to make it more simple for yourself, so you don't have to go through all this process again and again. So on this, you can see I'm rotating my hands a little bit, so I'm going to rotate this one as well. So you can see it kind of goes with it. Pretty cool stuff. And you can see over here the big one. I'm going to add a keyframe for brightness over here, and if we go a little bit further, here is where we want it to be big. Yeah, that's just fine. So while we do this in front of the position, so we can know where to position it right where we want it. So kind of like this. Alright, we're almost done. And here it needs to go even a little bigger, so I'm just going to do that in a second. Yes. I also forgot the rotation, but we'll do that later on. We can't do everything all at once, of course. $175 should do, and back to 0 over here. Okay, nice. You'll kind of see some cool animation. Don't forget the rotation over here, so just rotate this one. We kind of want it to go with my arm over here, because that's what we should be focused on. We always have to have a focus point. This one, maybe it's too strong rotation, so I'm just going to change it a little bit here as well. So just copy paste this frame over here, and let's go back to its original state. You need to rotate it the other way, so we're going to do that, starting from this point. You see, it's kind of a hard process to do, but you'll manage to do it, because there's no other way. Anyhow, so we're going to make a RAM preview of this real quick, and let's see how it looks. I guess I'm going to change the flares around this orb to make it look more better. Okay, so let me just change those settings really quick. Boop-a-doom. Do-do-do-do-do. Which one is it? Come on. Streak. Oh. This one. And nope. Where is it? Come on. Show yourself. Glint, there we go. Okay, so it's glint we need to hide. You see, it's kind of a hard thing to do, to find the right things to hide and to change settings off. Anyhow, we're almost done. But you can see it's not perfect. It's because I'm doing this as fast as I can. Just normal in tutorial. So you get the idea. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to change the glow and the core settings of the lightning itself. I guess we should have done that in the beginning because we need to change we need to apply the same settings again. Oh, stupid me. So anyhow, so we're going to do that really quick. So the core radius is 2.4 and the color needs to stay white. The glow radius, we're going to change that to 57. I'm going to lower the opacity a little bit, so just going back to the starting point over here. Just press U real quick and change those core opacity settings to 17. Those glow, excuse me, the wrong one. Glow opacities to 17, so it only shows the lightning instead of the glow. Don't forget to do the same thing over here. Just select the frame over here, double click it, it will bring up the glow opacity thingy over here, and just type in 17. Right, for the color, it needs to be the same as the one there's a flare we're going to use. So we're going to click the eyedropper over here, and we're going to choose yeah, this color. Seems fine. So it will go. Oh, that's white. That's not good. Come on, give me a good one. There we go. Oops, I've added the wrong opacity. This one over here I need to change. There we go. Yeah, do it for both of them. So let me just change them really quick. 17. There we go. It's kind of complicated, but you know where your keyframes are. That's the most important thing. You need to know which keyframe is from which one as well. So it's kind of a difficult process, even for me, but you'll get used to it. So let me just change those settings for here as well. Close settings. I'm going to copy the value over here from this one to this one as well. Okay, nice. Okay, so going to close core settings and close settings, and we're going to change some settings in the more advanced settings. So alpha obstacle needs to be at 3.60. Turbulence needs to be at 1.04. Doesn't really matter, but do recommend to use it. Forking 100% to have more lightning. And yeah, decay needs to stay as it is. And don't forget to check decay main core, so that will yeah, give more lightning at the origin point over here. And we're going to do the same thing for the second effect. Oh, it was kind of stupid to duplicate it in the beginning. I knew I was doing something wrong, but in the end, it doesn't really have to do. It's one process you have to do. Anyhow, we're going to change some expert settings. Going to give the core drain 25%, which is change the value of the thickness of the lightning. The fork strength, going to increase it a little bit. Doesn't really matter which. 78, 77 will do. Fork variation, give it 40%, something like that. And do the same thing for the second effect. So 24, runs 70, 70, 64. And we've got some cool lightning already. Alright, it looks much better than before. So what we're going to do now, we see already got a nice animation, and you can see the lightning is yeah, we've got a lot of lightning going on, and maybe we're going to decrease the effect of the optical flares because it's kind of too big. So let me just change that to 150 over here, so we're not overdoing it. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do now is going to add some CC. So as we said before, tools over here at InstaFilm script. Very cool. Just press CC. You have a new layer, and all these things, all the effects are already applied. So what I'm going to do first is going to into Magic Bullet Looks over here, and we're going to give it a blur and I guess some contrast as well, or maybe in vignettes. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we're going to let it focus on this part over here of the movie instead of the background. So that's the most important thing. So go over lens over here, add softness, make the blur around 260, 110 quality. So make it focus on this one maybe a little bit more. One that's the best. So we must not overdo it. Okay, that'll do. So we're just going to add a vignette to it. Don't make it too small, make it a little bit more bigger. There we go. And yeah, maybe this. Nah, that won't do anything. You know, just have to find something cool to do. Nope. Well, I guess that's it for Magic Bullet Looks. Very cool. Yeah, we're going to add some curves. Just press in the middle over here, drag a little bit onto the bottom, just a little bit, so it will add some contrast. We're going to delete levels. It's a really hard effect to use. So, and we're going to add some tint to it. So let me just give it a 10% tint. So yeah. So we already got some cool, yeah, some cool color correction. Maybe we can add some different ones as well. So let me just select the layer and give it, yeah, maybe brightness and contrast will do. Give it a -10 contrast. Yeah, -10 brightness and 10 contrast. If that's too much, just do it on your own. I think that's too much. Maybe I'll just give it a 10 instead of give it more contrast. You know what? Without should be fine. Just find the right color correction for your your video. And you can see it's starting to get a little bit laggy, so we're going to change the resolution to half, so maybe third, whatever is best for your computer. And now we can add some letterbox, but we won't do it right now. At first we're going to add some cool shaking effects and a cool shine effect. So of course, you know, there's something different at the end where I open it again over here. We're not going to do it in this tutorial, but this part over here is enough to know what we're doing. What I'm going to do here is just reopen it, make it bigger, rotate it a little bit, and make it really big over here. That's the only thing I will do. So, but I will show this part over here, where I show it. So I'm just going to trim come to work area over here. So we don't have to do much work over here. So let me just go to optical flares over here and add the effect. Where was it again? I guess it was a generate CC light rays. So that will add kind of a kind of light rays to your hands. Like there's a kind of light in your hands, like we see in this video. And we're going to increase intensity, the radius a little bit, decrease it a little bit, I mean. And we're going to keyframe this center, and that will do. So when it's ending right here, we can see, just going to increase intensity a little bit, so going to animate it throughout this one over here. Press H again for your hand tool to move it around, and to zoom in just use the scroll for your mouse. Press V again for your selection tool. Now these are basic, guys, you know how to use those tools. I just keep it at this point. We need to be precise, so because the intensity is too much, as you can see. Yeah, that will do. We're moving it around too much. Just make it stay on the right place. Almost done. It's really hard, especially when it's like 20 frames per second. It's kind of hard to do. Okay. So we're going to look at the results of it done. Well, we can see already that it's not good right here, but over here it's kind of good. Yeah, we don't really see it, but it's there. The wrong positioning. So let me just copy paste this one's file. This is what you call being precise, making sure the right keyframe is on the right place. Now that'll do. Now we're going to decrease the the brightness of the orb again, because I think it's too big. Just keep it at 25 over here. 1.5 will do. Okay, so now we're not done yet. We need to add some shine effect. So I forgot to mention in the beginning of the tutorial, we're going to use the Trapcore plugin. I didn't say it because it wasn't really necessary to use, but it's really awesome. And we're going to use the Twitch effect as well. Those are third-party plugins need to be sure to have those installed. I don't care how you've installed it, illegally or legal. Illegal or illegal, I don't care how you did it. Just make sure you have those plugins because they're really awesome. And if you can't get them, this is optional, of course, but it will make your animation more awesome. So let me just go to the starting point over here, and let me just add a new layer, adjustment layer, and we're going to call it shake. Let me just add video call by Twitch over here, and around here I'll add a shake. So let me just change the settings, make it 15, make it 40 over here, enable slide, maybe 10, or 5. You don't have to do much of a shake, but a little bit. So we're going to keyframe it at 0. At this point it needs to be at 5. So we have kind of a shake, and let it go fade in back to 0. So just press U again. So when we ramp you it, you can see there's a kind of a shake, but it needs to be more, I guess. Maybe 8 will do. Yeah, okay. We can see there's a light point over here. That's the light ray we've added recently. So we're going to optical flares over here. You where it starts, where it stops. Okay. So it stops over here. So we need to make sure we put the intensity on 0 over here, or else it's going to be really weird to see. Okay. You can see the twitch effect gave some more nice animation to it. And just when it's about to close in over here, we're going to add again the twitch effect, but we're going to do it different. We're going to place the 8 key value of 8 keyframe in the end, where it goes harder and more shakier to the end, and suddenly it stops, which is over here. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. So let me just ramp it really quick. At the end as well. We can see it gets laggier and laggier the more effects we use in our composition. But it will give a nice, nice end effect. There we go. Bam, really nice. Okay, so you know what? We're going to do a lightning, and we're going to give the layer an opacity of 95 or maybe 90, because I think the lightning stands out too much. So we need to change that. Just change it to full. It's pretty nice. If you want, we can also choose add, but that one too. Just keep it at 90. There we go. And if we want, we can change the opacity of the core setting itself. So like this, for example, as you can see. Well, it looks much better actually. So we're going to change the opacity of the core settings to, I guess, 50 again. And the same thing for the other advanced lightning effect. Damn, that looks sexy. Okay, so as I said before, we're going to use the Trapcode plugin as well. So we're going to add a new effect, Trapcode Shine. There we go. And yeah, that looks like nothing. So I'm going to change some settings of it. Over here, the ray length needs to be around 1, 2, I guess. The position needs to be at the point where, yeah, the orb is. Boost light, nah, this doesn't need to be. Anyway, the transfer mode needs to be on, I guess, at, or just keep it at none, and we're going to change the color, there we go, to none. So we still have the ray, but it will give no color at all. So just change it to 0 over here, and at the start point where we open it up, we're going to give it a 0.2. Let's make it 0.5 ray, and make it go bigger and bigger as the big one comes. I forgot to put a marker over here showing that it's ending, because I always have to go to the end, search for the end. So anyway, let's make it 1 over here. Whoops, I did the wrong one. Needs to be the ray length. I'm doing the wrong keyframe. Don't worry guys, don't worry. Let me just change those settings really quick. See, I knew it was at 0.2. Right, that's where's my rays? Anyhow, just double click it. 0.2. There we go. Delete the keyframe of boost light. Just keep it at 0. That boost light. And the ending over here. 0 ray length. There we go. There's a lot of blur, there's a lot of shakiness, a lot of cool effects in one video, and that's what makes it awesome. These kind of things. It's really easy to do, really easy to understand how to do it, and the more you get used to it, the more yeah, you get used to After Effects. So before we go any further, we need to be sure our our source point over here is animated as well, so it kind of goes with the orb over here, so we can kind of see it animates with it. Bam, very cool stuff. Okay, so we're going to rename our composition to lightning, and we're going to make a new composition. Just make a new composition just by pressing Ctrl N. Name this one Final. Make it around 20 seconds, or the one you decide most. Just make it more than the original composition. And yeah, there we go. So now we're going to add the letterbox from 1080p. Just press it and it will create a letterbox. Very nice, very cool. Just by one click. Maybe we're going to change it to the size 109, because I think the letterbox is a little bit too big. I mostly compare it to this end over here, so that's how I do it. So yeah. And now I'm going to show you guys something I've recently discovered on my own, and it's it was really useful. So I'm going to add a new text layer as a kind of an intro. Name it Cool Lightning Hands. There we go. And you can see I'm repositioning the lightning hands, the text layer, but I want it in the middle. Really simple to do. Go to Window, Align over here, and get a little window over here. I'm just going to put it next to InstaFilm, and choose this one over here, Vertical Center Alignment, and that will put your text in the middle, no matter how it's positioned. So I position it like that, choose my layer and press it again, it will place it in the middle. And when I zoom in, it will still have that kind of no wrong anchor point. So how to change, also very cool, how to change the anchor, to change the position of the anchor point over here. Go to Anchor Point tool and just select this one and put it in the middle. There we go. And when we zoom in, we can see it's zooming in the middle, in the center. Very cool. So let me just add a nice white background. Give the text a black color. Select them both. And let me just add a animation presets to that text. Animate in, there we go, slow fade on. Like that. Very simple. And that's how you do it. If you want, we can put letterbox above it. So, and at this point we've done with the animation, and after that we can add some cool sound effects, some cool music, as I've done with my video. And you can do it as well. If you're wondering what music I use, the information will be in the description. Every other information will be also in the description. If you have any other questions, please ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And guys, don't forget to make your request. If you don't make a request, I can't do tutorials. It's up to you guys which tutorials you want. If you want something you've never seen before, you want to be more explained about, ask that as well. Ask in the comments, ask me on Facebook or whatever. Put it in the message on my site, whatever. I don't care. I will read it anyhow, and I'll put it on my list. So I've already got a request for the next tutorial. The next tutorial will be about smoke trail, how to make one. It's not as simple, but I will try to do it with effects in After Effects or with special effects you can download. Anyhow, that's about it for this tutorial. So guys, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.